So let's look at these Magush words. This is advanced level. Magush is a very good resource for GRE vocabulary. I'm not sponsored by them, but I think it's a very good place to look for words to build your word list. So let's look at unprepossessing. I think unremarkable. World leaders coming to meet Gandhi would expect a towering surge, and often will be surprised by the unprepossessing little man dressed only in a loincloth and shawl. So that's unremarkable. Let's move on to the next word. Of shedding fruit. Shedding fruit is to have joy in other people's suffering. Shedding fruit has joy in other people's suffering. From his warm apartment window, Stanley reveled in shedding fruit as he laughed at the figures below, huddled together in the Arctic chill. So that's to take joy in other people's suffering. Okay, let's move on to the next word. Peevish. Peevish is irritable. Peevish is irritable. Let's move on. Eponym. Anytime you hear name, it has to do with name. So eponym, I think something derived from a name. So eponym derived from a name. Let's see. Okay. Glean. Glean is to collect. Glean, collect. Let's move on. Malapropism. Malapropism is I think confusing similar words. Malapropism. That's confusing similar words. Let's move on. Redress. Redress is to correct unfairness. To seek redress in court. That's to correct unfairness. To seek redress in court. That's to correct unfairness. Yeah, we are right. Okay. Eponym, reviewing. Reviewing eponym. And we knew to be what? Derived from a name. Let's move on. Maladroit. Maladroit is, I think, clumsy. Let's see. Oh, we're right. I was not very sure. As a child, she was quite maladroit, but as an adult, she has become an adept dancer. Adept. I think adept is skilled. So, in creating your word list, anytime you see any strange word, just pick it up, get the meaning, and then add it to your list of words. That's a good way of creating a word list. Every time you see a new word, just pick it up and then get the meaning, add it to your words. Yeah, let's move on. Abrogate. I think abrogate, bring into existence, overturn a law. I think abrogate. It has a strong link with to overturn a law. There is one which resembles abrogate. There's one, if not abrogate, one that has to do it to take aggressively, to take something unlawfully or aggressively. So let's see. Abrogate. Abrogate, to overturn a law. Abrogate means to overturn a law. As part of the agreement between the labor union and the company, the workers abrogated their right to strike for 4 years in exchange for better health insurance. So abrogate is to overturn a law. Abrogate, overturn a law. Let's move on. Facetious. Facetious. So facetious. Facetious. Facetious means humorous, something humorous, something farcical, something arousing laughter. So that would take humorous. We are done with level 1. Let's move on. Continue to level 2. I will not submit a review now. Let's move on. So implacable. Implacable means cannot be calmed. Placate is to calm. So implacable means cannot be calmed. Let's move on. Above board. Above board means to be honest. Above board, to be honest. The mayor, despite his avuncular face plastered about the city, was hardly above board. Some concluded that it was his ingratiating smile that allowed him to engage in corrupt behavior and get away with it. Let's move on to unquestionable. Unquestionable is, I think, unreasonable. Unquestionable is clearly coming from the word conscience or to reason. So unquestionable, I think, is unreasonable. Unreasonable, unbelievable. Unreasonable, unbelievable. I think unreasonable. Yeah, we are right. Unquestionable. The lawyer's demands were so unquestionable that rather than pay an exorbitant sum or submit himself to any other inconveniences, the defendant decided to find a new lawyer. Wow. Unconscionable, unreasonable. Okay, let's move on. Lionize. Let's get through 2 levels and then we will continue in another video. So lionize. To lionize is to celebrate someone. To lionize, to celebrate someone. Students in the US learned to lionize Jefferson, Franklin, and Washington because they were the founding fathers of the nation. Wow. Lionize, to celebrate someone or celebrate something. Desiccated. Desiccated is lacking vitality. Desiccate. That's something that's dry, something that's lacking vitality. Let's move on. Moot. Moot is something, I think, irrelevant. Moot, something irrelevant. Yeah, something relevant. Moot, something relevant. Since the board just terminated Steve as the CEO, the finance committee's opinion of his marketing plan for next year is now moot. So it means the finance committee's opinion of his marketing plan for next year is now irrelevant. Okay, so moot, irrelevant, moot, irrelevant, moot, irrelevant. At times, in order to memorize a word, I think you can try to find a a word stem in the word, as if it's a long word. If it's a long word, you can try to find a word stem in it that has a strong link in meaning to that word. Then you use that to try to remember the word. There are other ways of memorizing words, like trying to create a mental image. So that anytime you mention the word, that image will come in mind and you use that one to remember the word. Another way is to try to find the origin of the word. That's the etymology. Trying to find the origin of the word, and through that, it will get to stick. To get to stick with you. Another way too is to use mnemonics. That's try to link the pronunciation of the word to the meaning of the word. That's another way of memorizing words. So you choose the one that works best for you. At times you have to combine them. If you use one for one word and doesn't work, you can try that with another method. If none works with that word, then you can use brute memory. That's mention the word and the definition over and over and over again until it sticks, then you move on. Sometimes you need to be fast because the GRE, you have to memorize some number of words within a very short period of time. And some of these methods are time consuming. So at times you have to just use the brute memory technique. Mention the word and then the meaning. Mention the word and the meaning. Mention the meaning several times until it sticks. Yeah. So let's move on. Mood. That's something relevant. Let's move on. To promulgate. To promulgate means to make something officially known. So to promulgate, to officially make known. The president wanted to promulgate the success of the treaty negotiations, but he had to wait until Congress formally approved the agreement. So to promulgate means to make something known. Quip is a witty remark. Quip. There's another word that has to do with a witty remark. I think. And then one other word that has to do with a witty remark or witty reply. So quip, witty remark. Let's move on. Factitious. Factitious is artificial. Factitious, I think, is artificial. The defendant's story was largely factitious and did not accord with eyewitness testimonies. So factitious is artificial. Factitious asserts. Factitious asserts. They are all words that represent something artificial. So factitious, artificial. Vaunted. Vaunted has to do with bragging or boasting. Vaunted has to boast. Vaunted. For years, Mark pulled up his ping pong pro game. Yet, when he entered the office tournament, his much vaunted skills suddenly failed him and he lost all 3 games he played. Wow. So vaunted is to boast about or to brag. Vaunted, to boast about or to brag. Let's move on. Apposite. Apposite are things appropriate. Succinct is something small, a small amount. Then you have intelligent and pleasable. So I think apposite is most appropriately appropriate. So apposite is appropriate. For a writer with such quick wit. Jonathan Swift has a rather opposite name. Wow, so he has a rather appropriate name. Wow. Let's move on. Good. Good governors, they are all words that represent urging something on. So good, to urge on. Dog did not want to enter the race, but Jim, through a steady stream of taunts, goaded him into signing up for it. So good, that's to urge on. Behoove. Behoove. A behoove is to be one's duty. I'm trying to get another word that has to do with, that's synonym of behoove. Behoove. Oblige. Yeah, oblige. Oblige to become someone's obligation, or to be someone's obligation. Oblige. So behoove. Behoove, oblige, all stands for being an obligation or being one's duty. So behoove, be one's duty. The teacher looked down at the student and said, it would behoove you to be in class on time and complete your homework so that you don't repeat freshman English for a third straight year. Wow. To repeat freshman English for 3 years straight. That's sad. So let's move on. Fastidious. Fastidious is to fussy. Fastidious is to fussy. Somebody requiring of details. Somebody that asks for so much details. That's fastidious. Fastidious, to fussy. Convivial is sociable. Convivial means sociable. We have the other options are hectic, supporting life, friendly and lively. I think sociable. Convivial should be sociable. Wow. Friendly and lively. We are wrong. Convivial is to be friendly and lively. But that has a strong link with being sociable. Wow. If you would agree with me, friendly and lively has actually to be friendly and lively means you're actually being sociable. That's what I thought. But convivial basically is to be friendly, is to be sociable, like to be social and friendly. So I think basically it's the same thing. Their options are not very distinct. So the wedding reception was convivial. Friends who hadn't seen each other for ages drank and ate together before heading to the dance floor. So convivial is to be friendly and lively. It's actually to be like sociable, somebody who is friendly. Yeah. Convivial, friendly and lively. Yeah, we got this wrong. I hope we don't get it wrong again till we end this level. Let's move on. Aesthete. It's coming from aesthetic. An aesthete is someone who appreciates beauty. So an aesthete is someone who appreciates aesthetics. So take appreciative beauty. We also have an important person, intellectual, physically gifted person. So appreciative beauty. A true aesthete. Marty would spend hours at the Guggenheim Museum staring at the same Picasso. Wow. He would spend hours staring at the same Picasso. He should really be an appreciative beauty. Let's move on. So we have the gist. I'm now committed to not making mistakes anymore until I complete this level for this video. Let's move on. The gist. The gist is a feature or characteristic of the times. Yeah, a feature. So that's the spirit of the times. So the gist is a feature or characteristic of a generation. The other things are lack of interest, strong disappointment, casual involvement, and so the gist is spirit of the times. Each decade has its own gist. The 1990s was a prosperous time in which the promise of the American dream never seemed more palpable. Palpable is something that can be felt, something that is visible. But we are looking at the gist here. So the gist is the spirit of the times. The gist, the spirit of the times. Let's move on. Bridle, tangle, ravel, shackle is all to restrain. It's all talking about restrain. So bridle is to restrain. Bridle, restrain. Bridle, restrain. Bridle, restrain. Behoof. We are reversing. Behoof is, that's one good feature with the Magoosh flashcards. I'm not sponsored by them, but that's one good feature of these Magoosh flashcards. They give you an opportunity to revise what you've learned. Circumscribe. Circumscribe comes from, I think, circumference. Circumscribe. Scribe is, I think, to write. So it gives an idea of the meaning of circumscribe. So I think that would be to restrict within limits. Circumscribe, I think, to restrict within limits. We have vary, restrict within limits, describe in detail, look around. I think to restrict within limits. The tour of South America was circumscribed so that they saw only popular destinations and avoided the dangerous parts of the cities. So circumscribe is to restrict within limits. Let's move on. Ignoble. Ignoble is, I think, dishonorable. Ignoble. We can find a word stem inside the noble. So ik will give you a hint that it could easily mean the opposite of the word stem in the word. That's noble. So ignoble gives us an idea of dishonorable. So ignoble, dishonorable. Yeah, we are right. In the 1920s, the World Series was rigged, an ignoble act which baseball took decades to recover from. So ignoble, dishonorable. Ignoble, dishonorable. Let's move on. Fastidious, we are reviewing. Fastidious, we learn to be fussy. Behoof again, behoof. We learn to be being one's duty. Let's move on. Convivial, convivial again. I think convivial, we said was sociable, and we realized that it actually represented friendly and lively here. But I think sociable and friendly and lively are very similar in meaning as long as convivial is concerned. That's why we choose sociable. But they say it is friendly and lively. So let's go by friendly and lively. Yeah. Good. We are reviewing. Good we learned is to edge on. Good, galvanize. It all talks about edging something. To edge. Yeah, to edge something on. So good means to edge. Let's move on. Quip we learned to be a witty remark. Reviewing quip. Quip we learned to be a witty remark. Another review. Ignoble we learned to be dishonorable. Let's move on. Convivial again. Friendly and lively. That's what we are told it is here. Convivial, friendly and lively. Wow, we are true. We made just a single mistake, which I think was understandable because it was very close in meaning with the correct one. So I think we understandably made that mistake. So that sums it up for our expedition with Magoosh flashcards. For now, I'll continue with other videos. If you need any form of assistance with the GRE Quantitative, the GRE GMAT or SAT Quantitative, or verbal, or the analytical writing with the GRE, or the essays with the SAT, any of these, you can contact me. I'll leave my contact in the video description, below. You can contact me and I'll see how best I can be of help to you. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next video.